Okay, so we're back again with another review here, and this is for iamdadescott. Thank you for the request. He wanted me to talk about and review Burnt Offerings, 1976 horror film, and the plot real quick. So you have this family, they move into this large old mansion in the countryside, and soon enough, which they discover that this house, this mansion, has mysterious and sinister powers, and it begins to terrorize his family. And that's the plot to the film here. Now, the film is directed by Dan Curtis, which he's more known for working on the show back in the day, Dark Shadows, which I've heard about but haven't seen. But he was a producer of that. He produced a lot of episodes of that show back in the day. And the cast here, you have Karen Black in the cast, who is the wife. You have Oliver Reed, who is the father. Burgess Meredith as Arnold, or which they call the character brother in the movie. Eileen Eckhart, Dub Taylor, who's the caretaker in the movie. Betty Davis. Now, getting into what I liked about the film here, I think the acting is fine. Oliver Reed, I think, does a good job as the father. Even though there was some stuff going on behind the scenes where apparently Betty Davis hated working with Oliver Reed, but that seems to be the case with Oliver Reed and other stuff where apparently, this is kind of what I've heard, that he's difficult to work with. His last movie, Gladiator with Russell Crowe, on a day off, he went to the bar, which, he was an alcoholic. I think that's pretty much known. And he consumed a lot of alcohol and either got into some fights or he armed wrestled a bunch of people in the bar. And I don't know which one it is. I'm open to correction. And then he died of a heart attack. He died again during the making of that movie. But I will say, Oliver Reed was a good actor. He does a good job here. Burgess Meredith, from the Rocky movies. He played Mickey. He was the Penguin in the Batman series. I liked him in the movie. Unfortunately, he's not in the film too much. He's in it for 2 or 3 scenes in the beginning, and then he disappears. To be honest, the film could have used more of Burgess Meredith. His character, I thought was, I thought he played a good character. Why couldn't he be in the film more? But, Betty Davis is okay. Karen Black is okay. I like the atmosphere to the film. I think it has a nice, subtle atmosphere. And the mansion itself, this location, which is a real location. I like the fact that it was all shot on location. And again, it's a real mansion somewhere in California. But I really liked how they showcased the interiors of the house in every room, and again, everything is tangible. It's a real mansion, and the interiors of the house and I think it does a good job of showcasing that and the kind of creepy atmosphere of the house. But getting into the drawbacks that I have here with the film, I think the biggest thing is the pacing. It's a 2-hour film, and I was really starting to feel that runtime by the 30 or 40 minute mark. And I understand it's about the atmosphere. It's about the setting. This location that is trying to break this family apart. And you would have a few moments in the film where, certain characters are losing it. For example, there's a scene where Oliver Reed is in the pool, playing with his son. And the next minute he snaps and he's trying to drown his son, which he doesn't. And Oliver Reed snaps back out of it. But for me, I think the film needed more of those moments, which is why, for me personally, I feel that, throughout the movie, you're just kind of waiting for more to happen. And there's just not enough punch there. It kind of leads to nowhere. There's this kind of a lack of terror. Early on in the beginning of the film, when you see Burgess Meredith, and Eileen Eckhart, I'm like, maybe those characters could have been used more throughout the movie. They're kind of creepy. Why not give those characters more to do? But it kind of has this TV movie quality feel, and Dan Curtis, I'm sure, has directed a lot more stuff, and you can look at his filmography, his IMDb, but maybe this needed a better director, somebody that can bring a little bit more to this film. And it's not to say that I don't like films of this type. The Changeling from 1980 with George C. Scott, great movie. I think, for me, that film did it a whole lot better. Here, while I give credit to the acting and the atmosphere and the mansion, the location of this mansion, other than that, there's just not a lot there for me. And I think it's a bit overlong, and there's a lot of, scenes that I was kind of waiting for more to happen, and I just didn't get that. But overall, I wasn't too big on this one. I think the actors do fine, and the atmosphere is fair, but it doesn't offer enough, scares or standout moments of terror. There are other haunting films I'd rather watch more. And out of 10, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. So, but that's just me. Thank you to iamdadescott for the request. Again, thank you for watching, and have a good day.